I think it's become pretty normal in our culture to daydream and ask yourself, what would I do in the zombie apocalypse? And whenever I've done this, maybe I'm alone, but I'm actually thinking, how could we be more self-sufficient? Because I'm bypassing the requirement of, is there a weapon to hand and how am I going to fight them? Am I strong enough? And I'm actually thinking, do you know what? Within a matter of days, we're not going to have food. We aren't in a zombie apocalypse, but the reason I'm saying this is because this business, Winglewood, I wanted to be introducing this to you with all my concepts. And I'm Helen, by the way, because I haven't said that yet because it's really uncomfortable. But I'm launching it now without having the plans prior that there would be this bizarre, unprecedented situation in the world, which is the coronavirus. And this business is about looking at the world from a different perspective, or a broader perspective, even lots of perspectives, but within particular mind that we do things kind of wrong and we do them so structured and so rigid that we need to kind of soften. And we need to soften that view to recognise where the errors are. Because ultimately, we are part of a big system. We're part of nature and we detach ourselves from it. And we're part of communities and we detach ourselves from that. And what we end up with is a very sort of isolated, busy-minded place where we're all individually plodding along, but really kind of dependent that everything plods along around us. So I've created Winglewood over a course of, I'm going to say I've been thinking of this for years, but essentially the last year, particularly the last 6 months, it's been something where I've been determined that I'm actually ready now to put this into action. So whilst prior to this, it's a sort of very vague, loose concept floating in my daydreams, the last 6 months, it's become something that I've decided upon as a business plan. And it's probably the most loose and unstructured business plan that ever existed, but hey, that's how I work. The current situation with the virus makes it a really weird time to decide to launch a business. But I do think Winglewood is the best type of business to be launching at such a time, because it is all about finding solutions to challenging problems and looking at them in a different way and bringing together people's perspectives. And not only that, the ambition to create self-sufficiency within a community. And I'm not talking about everybody growing their own food. This is much more broader scale than that. You know, we're including all topics of our lives, but I'm talking a sort of community sufficiency where we know that we're there for one another and we know that our needs are catered for, we're self-responsible and we take a role with pride within our lives. These are all, I'm touching on a lot of things here, but what I'm trying to say is what I had planned for Winglewood, the reasons that I feel so passionate about it have all been brought to the surface because of the current situation, because there are so many weak links in the way we do things that are really being shown into our face right now. So it might mean that we have a slight different tweak to the content plan that I thought I'd be starting out with, because certain topics are going to feel really more amplified and more important at this time. It's about looking at the lifestyle and the lives that we have, the relationship with everything around us, and identifying that it doesn't really work for our best advantage. It's not bringing our best potential for life, for joy, for happiness. We're just always focused on doing, on getting the money in, and what stress can I, worry about today. It's very easy to say, I don't see my neighbours. Their life doesn't affect me, don't really even know what they do. Or to say that, the world isn't in a very good state, there's probably stuff wrong with the environment, we're probably not sustainable, but I don't have time. This is about recognising the benefits to ourselves on our own personal level when we take everybody's interests into account. And that includes nature and the environment. And it's also becoming responsible, because responsible means freedom. And that might seem like a strange concept, but if we have no responsibility, that means we have dictated understanding of our world and how we do things. And a dictated understanding means everything's in boxes and everything's rigid, and we don't feel free. Whereas taking responsibility means taking control for me, for you, for your life, to do what's right and what makes you happy. And when you can take responsibility in that way, you're free. That is something that I hope to really kind of broaden and sort of fill out that as a concept, because it might not kind of make sense to you at the moment, but it's something that will keep cropping up. So essentially, Winglewood, I want you to get the gist that this is a very, I'm going to call it a seed. So as a business goes, it is a seed of a business that I have nurtured, and I've got everything contained within that seed that is required for it to grow into something wonderful, something huge, something that could be wide-reaching. But what I'd like to do, which probably seems very unusual, I'm calling it a business. Really, it's a passion. It's just a lifestyle that I could take pride in helping to bring together all these perspectives for us all to be part of a community. The community that we kind of are in need of, I think. So I'd like to take this seed and say this is what I have conceived. And I want it to grow organically with everybody's input. So I don't know exactly where it's going to go. So when I say I'd like you to be part of Winglewood, if this kind of makes sense to you, if my babbling makes sense to you, then it's perfect, because I'm babbling a lot here. I will get better at this. It's the first time in front of a camera. If this makes any kind of sense and you're thinking, yeah, do you know what, I get that, have a good look around the website and follow what we're doing. That's all you have to do, is follow the content in the blogs. The membership at the moment, it exists as a crowdfunding source. That's what I'm going to call it. I want to be very clear that the essence of this business is there and I'm launching it. It's just me on my own, but I'm going to very quickly, hopefully, very quickly be able to get on board the help of other people. And the more support I can get at this time, the faster that will happen and the content frequency will be up. So in a nutshell, Winglewood is an online magazine. The content covers all different areas of our lives, and essentially there's a very proactive viewpoint where we're bringing information that will help to take steps to improve our lives, as opposed to just reporting on this is a situation, this is how things are. This is very much, I'm putting out concepts through my voice to then get other people on board to show and demonstrate and quantify the benefits that we can have when we look at our world situations, when we look at our life situations, all these little things that add up to improving for our own personal experience. Because this isn't just about saying let's be more sustainable, let's look after the planet. This is about saying let's look after me. Because we often neglect that and we think that being beneficial to the planet means sacrifice. And I have the complete opposite opinion of that. Looking after the planet is about bringing joy to ourselves. Really aspiring to lives that make us sing, that make us absolutely thrive. And when we are in that place, the planet will be in the same place. And I feel very confident on that. And if it feels inspiring to you but doesn't make the blindest bit of sense, then bear with me and I'll start to piece it all together and explain what I mean.